same thing with the left hand, but the right hand I'm using this knuckle right here. I'm gonna create a bit of a furrow there, and I'm gonna start driving that clay up the side of the pot like that. Try to maintain the same distance all the way up.
Where's the pressure coming from? This part
right here,
right there, the top of your knuckle.
I'm using all of this part of the finger to
brace it.
Yeah, to kind of hold the clay up.
Well,
but this is the part that's doing the work.
That's an odd. Just try and.
Yeah.
So that's one lift.
Can I ask you a question? Because I've been doing it one way, and I don't know who I was watching on YouTube, I think. But they were talking about like the outside being more just the holding, and really the lifting coming from the inside. And I'd always done it the reverse.
Yeah, I don't do it like that. It's mostly from the outside. I mean, the inside's doing
holding it,
too,
right?
But
it's really the push is coming from
really,
the.
Yeah.
Okay.
It really is from the outside.
Because that's how I've been doing it. So I was like, is that really possible? Okay.
So it's still quite thick. It's about 3/4 of an inch. So I'm going to do one more lift with that knuckle because it's strong enough. It's still narrow enough at the top here versus the base, so I don't need to collar it right now. So I'm just going to create another little furrow there, about 1/8 of an inch deep, and then start bringing that up. I can't join my hands together because the pot's too big now. Now I can, so I'm bringing my thumb out. And I'm joining them together as soon as I can. Drive a little more clay out like that. Stop just shy of the rim, and then lift away slowly. And again, just get in there and compress that a little bit. I like to keep my rims nice and thick. Okay, so now we're getting down into sort of 1/2 an inch thick range.
Do you want some water?
I think I've got enough, just about. I know it's white, but it's alright. I don't care that much. So now I'm going to switch to this knuckle. And I'm going to use this side of the finger with that knuckle. It's more sharp than this knuckle, so there's less drag, because now it's getting thinner, it's going to get a little bit more wobbly, so I don't want to be applying so much drag to it. So again, push in, make a little undercut, and then start driving that up, and you can see the side of that finger is holding the clay up.
That seems more intuitive with the knuckle.
Bringing that up, getting a little more height, bringing it down to maybe 3/8 of an inch thick now from 1/2 an inch. Stop shy just of the rim, compress it again, make sure it's all still even. If you knock it out, you know, we can get in there. So now I need to, I'm kind of forgetting what I'm doing here. I've got to make sure I don't get too thin because I'm bringing it out here somewhere.
Well, it's quite thick.
So I'm going to get the water out at the bottom at this point because it's been sitting there for, you know, 3 or 4 lifts. But I'm going to reapply it right again at the top. And now I'm going to lift with the same knuckle, but I'm going to swivel it around and use just this part. So it's less drag again, and it's more of a knife going this way. It's even more pointy than that way. So we kind of dig in again, make a furrow, and start to bring the clay out. And you can kind of feel better what's going on too. You turn it like that. And just being really careful to keep it somewhat even. And I'm going to do one more, probably the last lift now, to actually distribute the clay so it's thinner down here and thicker in the middle, because we're going to bring the middle out further. So we want to more thickness in the middle here.
Okay.
And then I'm going to try to kind of grade it down to thinner here and thinner here. This is already thinner, so I can probably just leave that. So one more lift. I'm really kind of being quite aggressive here, making that thin. And now I'm backing off a little bit, backing off a little bit, backing off a little bit. We're kind of in the middle now. And then this top part is pretty much where it should be anyway. All right, and now I don't have the right rib.
What do you need?
I need just one of the plate ribs, like a straight one. No, I want a straight.
Oh.
Yeah, there you go, thank you. All right, so Any clay I wasn't able to lift up, I'm just going to trim it off now. So let's get rid of that. And now I'm going to flatten it so it will accept the ridges there.
Oh, that's a round ball. Are we going to make this a pinch pot, right? So we're gonna
I could just make it a straight up and down cylinder. It doesn't really matter that much.
Right? You want to put your thumb.
Yeah, because you don't want to adjust the thickness, do you, too much by doing that?
So I'm going to go with that. Round off that rim. I'm going to trim a little bit more here, and I'm going to make a little line where my lines are going to stop. So it just looks like it's, you know, it's supposed to be. It's a finished part, not just lines hanging out. And I'm also going to do a line here where they're going to end. And just make a little feature of the rim. Okay, so we're going to go from here to here with the things.
Here's the fork.
I'm going to try your thing here, if that's
Okay,
all right.
yeah, sure. I know what you're saying. I think I did have that problem last time.
That's good though. No, that's fine.
So you got to be
Beautiful.
quite, oh nice, quite confident.
And then just fit into the last line that you did. Try to keep it. You don't have to get them dead perfect, because as soon as you balloon them, whatever they are, they're going to look good.
All right, you got to pinch it.
Yeah, I like them nice and deep, because I actually quite like it.
Yeah, I like it deep also.
I like it when they break, like when you get a hole coming through. I kind of like
Oh, you
that.
do? Yeah.
Unless, you know, I wanted it to be watertight, and then, you know, it's kind of shit, but I like it. I kind of, the last ones I did of these, I was using reclaim, and I had massive chunks of really hard clay, and those broke too, and I kind of like that as well.
Nice. How does this feel compared to the fork?
It's much easier.
Easier,
Yeah,
a
I'm
little
gonna get one of
easier.
these.
Yeah, they're like 99 cents
Yeah.
at Walgreens.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. Let's get the water out. Doesn't matter that it's all pulled out of shape. It's all even, so as soon as I start pushing out. Alright, so we're not touching the outside anymore, apart from maybe the rim, when we're done. I'm using all 5 fingers. This is kind of holding the shoulder up, my thumb, so it kind of pushes it up to stop it from collapsing in on itself, and the other 4 just kind of find the right place for them, really. I tend to lead with one finger. I'll tell you which one that is in a minute, because I can't remember. So I'm gonna minimal pressure now, and I'm slowly building up the pressure, building it up, building it up, building it up, building it up. So I'm leading with this finger, and these are kind of in the back, and this one's holding things up. Building up the pressure now I'm backing off a little bit, backing off, to try to make it round. Get to here and stop, and then just go back down to the bottom and
Keep going.
keep going.
Now, if you were, will you be trying to collar in that neck or not?
I might, it depends what happens here. I mean, this is more of a sketch. I don't have a shape in mind here. But yeah, I might play around with the...
Because is that where you need to have a wider sort of
Talking about here.
Yeah.
But I know with mine, you know what I did? I collared in a little bit more. I made it flat and brought it in that way, so it wasn't up, but it was like a
Like, I
flat-
might decide a lid would look good on this, and so I might take this and flatten it down and make a gallery.
Yeah.
Or I might fold it in and make, you know, a recessed gallery so it look more like that one.
Right.
So it actually ends there, and then the lid continues to form.
But to do that, to make it, should you have had more clay there or not necessarily?
If you've got a premeditated idea,
Yeah.
then yeah, leave more clay there. I left how much I thought would be good for just to terminate the pot.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm having difficulties with lids, so maybe I won't do it on a big thing. I really need more practice. Not with the lid, with the gallery is where
Yeah.
I'm having the...
so maybe you need to make a bunch of small sort of
Yeah,
1 1/4 pound honey pots, or
yeah.
you know.
Well, I just need to practice and throw the stuff away.
You know what I sometimes do, Sam, when I'm making a pot? I make, just because of the breakage, but I'll make like 3 different kinds of lids for one pot.
Yeah.
You know, so it's not like you have to keep making a pot, but
Yeah.
you get the practice lids, and then you can see, you start learning like which lid looks good and which one. So you make like 3 totally different lids for
Designs,
for
yeah.
one pot. It looks great.
So I know that was roughed out with fingers. I know Barry uses.
I mean, that looks very even. That's
I like the fingers because you still get the ridges, and I kind of like more crusty, rough-looking pots. But if you want to smooth things out, I know
Right.
Barry does.
He has this.
He's got a much bigger one than
He's got a
this.
special one a friend made him.
Yeah, it's made out of the floor skirting.
Yeah, it's so good. But I'm like, you can't.
It
You don't
freaks
like
me
that.
out.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
like to do it.
It worked.
I'm gonna do this. I don't know how well this is gonna go, because I don't usually do this, but I'm gonna try.
It's just getting
And this will probably
Getting
smooth
that
it out a
right.
little bit.
no.
Now, it's also getting to a point where the pot isn't enjoying this anymore, and I really need to hit it with a heat gun.
Yeah,
That looks perfect.
I think I'd leave it. It's so pretty right now.
I might just leave it. But yeah, I could hit it with a heat gun and keep coming out. I mean,